Welcome to another session of Maths Fanatics 24/7. In this question, we're going to be looking at trigonometry. Okay, so on 5.2, they are saying we need to simplify the following expression without the use of a calculator. Okay, that's fine. So obviously, if I'm simplifying, I know I need to have my Cartesian plane, right? Let me just quickly sketch it here. Let's quickly sketch it there. Remember here it's plus minus 180. Here it's 0 and plus minus 360. And then here we're going to have 90. Then here we're going to have 270. Then here we're going to have negative 90. Then there we're going to have negative 270. Okay. Then the other most important thing to remember is if we go in this way, we have positive. Anti-clockwise direction, we count our angles as positive. Positive, ne? Then clockwise, you count your angles as negative. 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 Negative, ne? Awesome. Perfect. So now when you have this, you can now simply solve this. I advise you to know this diagram of by heart, right? And then we also need to remember that all are positive here. Sine is positive here. Tan is positive here. So positive, all positive, tan positive. Cos theta, it's positive there, right? Awesome. So now we can start. Let's check. Here we have 180 plus. Now you just check the value and the sign. So I have 180. So I'm going to go where 180 is. 180 is here, right? In between the second and the third quadrant. And then there's a plus sign. So from 180, if I'm having plus, it means I'm going down. Remember we said when we go down, we add in, right? So it means this scenario here, I'm in this quadrant, the third one. And I know that cos is going to be negative in this quadrant here. So I'm going to say change it to negative cos theta, right? And then let's check now. So here we have tan 720. Okay, I'll show you what to do first before you start reducing here. If the number is bigger than 360, you're going to minus as many 360s as possible, right? Until it becomes less than 360. So I have 720. I'm going to minus 360, which is 360. Then I minus another 360, which is 0, right? So on the Cartesian plane, it means 720 is equivalent to 0. I'll show you why we are allowed to just take the 360s out. Remember, 360 is here. So it's like you're still on 0, basically. You haven't started counting. So if you have more than 360, always subtract it to reduce the value. Perfect. So basically, here it's like I have this. It's like I have tan negative theta, basically. Because this part here, we also saw that is going to disappear to be 0. Does make sense? So now let's check tan negative theta on the diagram. Think of theta as always being here on 0. Theta is always there. Sharp. So I have negative theta. So negative theta will be in this quadrant because negative we go down. Do you see it? So we're in the fourth quadrant. And in the fourth quadrant, tan it's negative. So I'm going to have negative tan theta. And then we'll go here. So ladies and gentlemen, when you have a square, never use this diagram. The square, you don't need the diagram. Why? Because a square is always positive. The sign will never change. The diagram is to help you to get to know if the sign is going to change or not. If you have a square, you don't need to look at the diagram. If I have a square, I'm just going to look at this angle here. If I have plus minus 90, plus minus 270, sine theta becomes cos theta, and vice versa. Ne? Then if I have plus minus 180, plus minus 360, and then also with negative theta included, sine still remains sine. And then cos will also remain cos. So remember, if you have 90 or 270, sine switches to cos. If you have 180 or 360, it remains the same. So in this case, because of the square, I'm not looking at the Cartesian plane. Because of 90, the sine changes to cos. So I'm going to have cos squared theta there. And then at the bottom, I have 180 minus. Remember, we said 180 is here, minus is in this quadrant, and sine is positive in this quadrant. So we are going to just have sine theta at the bottom, right? Because it's positive. Then plus sine squared theta, right? Awesome. Now we can simplify this further. Okay, let's see. So this negative sign will cancel with that one. So the negative signs are out. And then now I have this. I have cos theta. Remember, tan is an identity, right? So it's going to be sine theta over cos theta multiplied by cos squared theta. So ladies and gentlemen, because I already have a division here and another division there. So this sign here, I'm just going to convert it to this one divided by sine theta. I'm avoiding to have three things dividing going down. I always need to be able to see my numerator and denominator clearly. That is a mathematical algebra skill that you should have. At any point of solving your equation, you should be able to see your numerator and denominator clearly. Okay, perfect. Then plus sine squared theta. Awesome. And then this cos will cancel that cos, right? So I have sine theta cos squared theta multiplied by 1 over sine theta. So remember, the division can switch to multiply, and then this was over 1. So you tip and times, basically. You change the division to multiply, you switch the numerator and the denominator there. Okay, then plus sine squared theta. Then this becomes cos squared theta plus sine squared theta, which is equals to 1. And that's finito about this reduction question. I hope it made sense. Please don't forget to hit the subscription button and advise family and friends to do so too. We're going to do 5.3 in another session. Keep looking. It's coming soon. Thank you very much.